Hello everybody, welcome back to another weekly market review for F45trading.com. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and click at the bottom of your screen, subscribe to my YouTube channel to get updates going forward for all of my new videos that come out. And just so you know as well too, this week I'm going to be doing a couple of other videos for the public for a couple little trading setups and some stuff that I like to do while I'm trading that you might find handy, kind of like my other videos that I put out, and I'll throw that out this week here for you. Now, getting down to business. By the way, this is for March 23rd to March 27th. I'm in North America, in Canada, and like most of the world right now, it's all in this quarantine right now. So social separation is what they're calling it. So it's very interesting. You're not on house arrest or on lockdown, but you're encouraged to stay there and to not go out in public. Yeah, that's fine until it isn't fine. We'll see how that goes, and then we'll see what happens from there. It's going to be pretty interesting to see. But man, let me tell you, the markets have been absolutely absurd. I'm sure everybody would agree with me saying, and look at this. I mean, I'm on the US dollar. Look, like, you know, the past month has been absolutely crazy. Normal range here coming into the end of February, and then March, first week of March, second week and third week of March has just been absolutely bananas. Hopefully you guys are killing it in these markets. I told you exactly where price was going, so if you're listening to what I'm saying to you in these videos, you would have hopefully made some money. Basically, I mean, if you're trading the US dollar, get long. If you're trading EurUsd, GbpUsd, Aussie USD, the Kiwi, I mean, go short, right? If you're trading UsdCad, go long. I mean, you could literally just pick an arbitrary point at any point in time during the week, go long or go short, and you would have made money. So, I mean, you don't even, like, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I've never seen these types of moves like this before, and I believe we're probably in store for a lot more. So I want to show you this economic forecast, economic calendar forecast for next week. And so nothing going on Monday, as you can see. Monday, March 23rd, no news, at least for the pairs that I'm following anyway. These are all the majors. I'll show you what I follow. So basically, the Aussie, the Loonie, the Euro, the Pound, the Yen, and of course the US dollar. I don't do really any trading on the Kiwi, the New Zealand dollar, the Chinese dollar, or the Swiss dollar, or I guess I should say Swiss franc. Don't do any trading them, so that's why I don't have them selected. So there may be news for these markets tomorrow, but I just don't have them selected on my chart. So just maybe, you know, make sure that you've got that noted. And I also don't have the low impact news events. I just have the high, medium, and then these guys here. So anyways, nothing on Monday. Going into Tuesday, though, look what we've got up on deck. We've got French services, flash manufacturing PMI. We've got German flash manufacturing, German flash services. We've got, and that's at 3:15 a.m. New York time, then 3:30, then 4 o'clock. We've got more flash manufacturing. And then we go into the pound. We've got more flash. Basically, what this, and then we've got this Richmond manufacturing indexed, and then we've got G20 meetings, tentative all day on Tuesday. This right here, though, this is all the economic drivers and how the economy is doing. So all these manufacturing and service numbers that are coming out, it's going to crush. I mean, I think it is literally going to crush these currencies. I mean, think about what's happening over in Europe. I mean, unless I'm incorrect, and I don't know, I haven't read the news over there in a little while, but last time I checked, everybody was getting locked down over there, and all the businesses were shutting down. The same thing over in the UK. Again, I could be wrong, but I'm going to double check on that one. Do your homework as well too, but just have a look and think what these economic numbers are going to do for that currency. And then going on, and then going on down the list, Going into Wednesday, we've got German final business climate numbers. We've got the pound CPI, core durable goods for the US dollar. Look at Thursday. We've got unemployment numbers coming out for Thursday at the US. And again, New York and California have been shut down. These are weekly updated numbers, or excuse me, monthly updated numbers. So these will come out from last month's numbers. So I believe the impact on these ones are going to be felt going forward. Maybe not so much on this one here. I think we're going to see higher US dollar prices. So this one may get held off. But all of these, and then we've got monetary policy numbers for the GBP as well on Thursday. So just as an FYI, don't trade before this one here, any GBP or pound pairs until this one's over, because it's probably going to fluctuate pretty substantially. And I'll tell you, so just following suit, obviously the US just did a snap rate announcement. The Canadian dollar just did a snap rate announcement. I bet you GBP, because of all of the quarantine and everything going on right now, they're probably going to start dropping their drawers on their interest rate as well too. So just an FYI, that could be on tap. They're not calling for anything here, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did. So just an FYI, a heads up. Okay. That's the news. Make sure you familiarize yourself with it, because there's going to be a lot of landmines on the old screen coming at you this week. So looking at the US dollar, we just, and I mean just, so last week, you see this big up candle, we failed to get above this old high here, back from, when was that high? The exact high was 2017. Just failed to, actually came right up to it and failed to get above it last week, and then this week opened up, gaps down, and then ripped up, and you can see it just took that high. I would like to see a little bit of pullback, honestly. Like, look at this, two monster up candles right here. Love to see some pullback. How much is it going to come back? Is it going to come back at all? That remains to be seen. I'll drill down a little bit in a lower time frame here, but just before I do, I think we're going to see price obviously extend above here. Slide the chart over. We have all this price action up in here, and then we've got lots of liquidity sitting above these highs over here. So I believe there's a very good chance that we're going to see price drive above this high. After it may pull back, so just I'll talk about the pullback, potential pullback here in just a second. But I think ultimately when we do, and if we do pull back, I think it's going to drive higher, and we're going to rip past this high here again, and we're going to start getting up into the consolidation range. And I think there's a very good chance that by the end of this week, especially if we see this monster, another monster candle up like we did last week, which is from tip to tail was 600 pips plus. So, you know, if you think about it from this consolidation level down to where we currently are, that's only 300 pips. You could do that halfway through the week. But I think at the end of the day, by the time we're done this week, I think we're probably going to be up into this area here at the very least. So that's what I'm predicting. Now, in terms of a pullback, we got to go down a couple of time frames here. So you see we came and shot straight up here into, this was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday's candle shot up into here, came back, and then Thursday shot straight up. Well, Friday really retraced, and we came right back down to the old high, the daily high from Thursday. So this range, I believe, has been traded to fairly efficiently, and I don't think we're going to see price run back below there. If we do, we're going to see price run all the way back down to 100. So I'll be watching for that if this level's broken there. But I think there's a very good chance we're probably going to stay above all of this level, and I doubt we'll go down below. This is that daily last Thursday close there, last Thursday high, right there. You see that? No, I apologize, guys. I'm a day ahead, I'm a day behind. Wednesday's high, and then Thursday came down, shot up Friday, and then now we're just at the time of this recording, Sunday. Markets have opened for about the past 5 hours. So we came up, came back down, rebalanced that range from last Wednesday's high there, and then shot up again, just took the high there. So I think what we're probably going to end up seeing, we'll probably see price drift lower. I'd like a return back down to this area here. I just don't want to see it go underneath this low. I want to see them keep this low intact. If this low gets run through, then my eye would probably go down to here, and they may want to really take it underneath these lows here. But until that happens, I'm going to remain bullish on this. You know, to be honest with you, I think there's probably a good chance we may stay above this level in here, but I would watch two areas. So this area in here, watch this, and then I would watch these areas right in here. So what does that come in at? So 103 and basically 102, about 102.60, I'd say. Watch those two areas. If you see price come down into there, keep an eye. If you don't see any bouncing, then it could be stretching for this. And if we lose this low, then we're going to stretch down. But I believe either this level here or this level here will hold price as the support, and we'll probably see price move higher. That's what I'm looking for. It remains to be seen if that'll happen. So just, you know, watch, be diligent. You know, don't just blindly go into trades or anything like that. Obviously, I am looking for higher prices. I'd like to see price come down, retest one of these 1, 2, 3 areas, and then shoot higher. And again, these are the ranges that I'm looking for it to get up into. 104s, obviously 105s, and even up into the 106s and maybe 107s for the week. So that's what I'm looking at for the US dollar. Now, Euro USD, very similar, huge price slide last week. And just as a note, last week was so Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. I want to just get 600 pip range on Euro USD. Pretty impressive for the week. I got a lot of that. I hope you guys did as well too. Now, going forward, we've balanced back up to this low here on last Friday. Came all the way up, just actually went into this candle a little bit. Balanced price range. Where are we going from here? I think we're going lower. Here's that old low on the monthly, way back here. And we came in, as I was telling you guys last week, that I was looking for this gap in here to get run through and then trade it back down to this little consolidation area. That's exactly what happened. So this whole range in here, exactly as I mentioned to you guys, would pan out. Came up very nicely on the charts. Now what do we do? Again, very similar to the US dollar, looking for a little bit of a retracement higher. We're starting to get that right now. You can see that on the daily. Price came down and just ran past the old low from Friday. Let me zoom in a little bit here. You can see that. Price gapped down, opened up, and took out that low, and now we're starting to see price run a bit higher. To be perfectly honest with you, I have a hard time believing that we're going to get all the way back above. Like, I don't think we're coming back into this range at all. I don't think we're going to be coming back into these highs up here. These highs here, I think we'll stay below those. But what I am looking for is a return. I can borrow this line here that I just created. What I'd like to see is just a run above those highs in here. It's going to be... and I might be too high. I just want to double check. We may be a little bit too high on that. Let me just readjust. Actually, let me get rid of that. So price came stabbed up in here, and it ran down, and it reached up once, twice, 3, 4 times up in here. So right now, everybody is all dogpiling in short in here. And I bet you majority of these people, their stops are here. Price may get above these highs here. I doubt it, but I'd be looking for a return at least above these equal highs right in there. And that's pretty close to where we're at right now. Maybe even this red line here, 107.75. We're 107.16 currently at the time of this video, so maybe another 50 pips higher, and then I would expect price to start rolling over. If price goes above these highs here, it may want to shoot for this high here, but I very much doubt that we're going to get enough steam to get above here. I very much doubt it. And again, I told you the reason, my thoughts why, with the Forex calendar, economic calendar coming up, there's a lot of service news coming up and things like that, and I think the numbers are just going to be devastating to these currencies, and I think we're going to see a massive drop. And I do believe there's a very good chance that we could see this low here on the week at 103 get hit. It's only 400 pips away. You look at this candle here, I mean, it didn't take them very long to do that, so I think it's a very, very high chance that we could be below this low here. What changes that is if price goes above the high of Friday here, like we start getting above 108.50s, you know, so basically about 140 pips from current location, then maybe in term we could look at a rebalance, possibly back up in here, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think this week they're just they're starting it off high. They're going to grab everybody's stop who went short in this run here and then run it back off. So that's kind of what my thoughts are. GBP, more of the same. Again, you want to see sell-offs. Man, this thing just got massacred. call it just about 1,800 pips this thing dropped in 2 weeks. Wow, I wish I would have sold that. And to be honest with you, I would have been wrong on that had I have, well, I shouldn't say that. I was wrong on my theory about where price was going to hold up. I was hoping price was going to hold up in here, so one big shot down. That changed that, and I was thinking, well, maybe we'll hold up in here, and then we had two big shots down, and that kind of nixed that idea, and then it just fell off. I was hoping that we would have seen them come up and run these equal highs up here and then drop it. We didn't get it, so I would have been wrong on that day. I might have even said something to that effect, so just keep that in mind. But I mean, I don't even have, this chart doesn't go back far enough to give you the next level on cable. You'll have to do your own research on that one with your own independent charts, you know, trading view, bar chart, something like that might give you that. But just an FYI, I think we're probably going to see lower prices on cable as well. This thing's been fluctuating quite a bit. So look at last Friday's candle, just barely got up to close this area in here from this low from last week. They could want to shoot up and try to close that little gap in there. And that's just basically just above this high right here. But I don't think they're going to really take it much higher than that. You know, I'll be honest with you, we kind of traded up there. It had the chance to do it, and it rejected very strongly. So we'll see if they have enough gusto to get back up there. But I think very similar to the EURUSD, I think we're going to see much, much lower prices on cable. What changes that is if we basically get above this area right here, 12200s. If we get above there, then I think we could target probably the lows back up in here. And I could even put a line up here. That would be my target. If this level, if this blue line is traded above, I'd be targeting up here. But we'll have to wait and see if that happens. I honestly believe we'll probably see lower prices on cable. EURGBP is ran this old high in here and then just smashed right back down. It's actually a weekly level, excuse me, a monthly level. We had right there. You see that candle high right there? Just came and grabbed that, and now it's rejecting. I don't honestly know what this pair is going to do. This thing has really turned around quite a bit. It just scooped these lows up here last month, and I was honestly hoping that we would have seen a return back down into this area there. Obviously we didn't get that, and we had this big candle that kind of changed everything about 3 weeks ago, excuse me, 2 weeks ago, and then this huge candle last week. So obviously very, very bullish. I'd be looking for a rebalance though on this guy. We kind of already did come back on the daily, rebalance back to that blue line there. There is a good chance we could trade just below those ones there, and that could be, again, give us a little bit of room on GbpUsd to see it trade up into here early in the week if we see this thing slide off, because if we see, obviously, EuroGBP running lower, we'll see pound dollar run higher for the interim. But this thing has just been so bullish, I'd hate to say, yeah, go ahead and short this thing, because I don't think that's the case. I think we're probably going to continue to see higher prices. Or they'll just consolidate it, and then they'll really manipulate euro and cable. Okay. UsCad, man, just massive. And my money would have been on filling the gap. I think I told you guys that, and it didn't even want to come close to filling that gap. It just screamed higher, and look at this. When it gapped 2 weeks ago, we're almost 1,200 pips. Got to go out to a monthly to see the old high right here. Just fell short of that last week. So I'm anticipating them running that out without any hesitation this week. I would expect them to continue to run higher. Obviously, USCAD is very tied to crude oil, and crude oil, as you see in the next slide here, is getting smashed. So that would mean if crude oil going down, USCAD going up. And obviously the US dollar will attribute to this as well too. The stronger the US dollar gets, the more it will pull USCAD up. And we'll probably see it trading into these lows in here very, very soon. 150s, wow. Okay, Australian dollar. Surprised me last week. I did not think this was going to sink this much last week. I had this target over here, these lows, and it just crushed that. Look at the weekly range from last week. Man, just massive. Almost an 800 pip range on the week. Huge, 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 huge range. So, you know, again, more of the same to come. More than likely. There's more downside targets in here. I think we are seeing a little bit of a bounce right now. After it slammed back into this little consolidation area here, we're seeing that right now. You can see price opened up, stabbed down in there last Thursday. Price rejected, and then Friday's candle came all the way back up, and now we're just kind of sitting here in the middle. We could sit here for a little bit longer, maybe another day or two, but I'd be surprised if we started, you know, I say that, and I like this area up here for a quick return and then a rejection. This is pretty high, so maybe stretching it a bit, but I'd like to see something like this. I think we're going to see lower prices on Aussie going forward, but I'd love to see if we could see one little quick bounce up into here and then a drop. You know, it is 200 pips away, but, you know, with the Aussie, the amount that it's ranged so far in the past week or two, anything is certainly possible. Looks very bullish in here as well, too. All the trend line traders, they're all going hard on this thing, going long after the big drop. If they do get up here, I think it's going to be pretty short-lived, and I think we'll see price careen south from there. But this would be great if something like set up like that happened. I'll be watching for that. But again, Aussie very, very bearish. Don't go long in this market, folks. I mean, you could certainly go long there if you want. I mean, that's potentially 300 pips. But don't be surprised if that thing reverses real quick and just starts smashing anybody who's going long out of the market in a big hurry. I could do that quickly, but I'm looking for longer downturn movement on Aussie. Okay, crude oil is, I hate to say it, but crude oil could go lower. I hope it doesn't go lower, because it's already, in my opinion, gone lower than I would have liked it to. And unfortunately, I don't have a chart that can show you any lower. But about $16 to $15, I think, is sort of the next level that crude could push down to. We traded down to 20.50 last week. You can see that low right there. And we've traded off just a little bit here to start out the week. Price gap down. We ran these lows here, interim lows from last week, and then now price is shooting back up again. Honestly, what I believe is probably going to happen while all of these price wars and everything is going on in the Middle East with everything, we're probably going to see price ranging. We've got a couple nice equal highs in here, and it's nothing for crude oil now. I mean, this thing could range $10 in a day. I mean, it's just, maybe not quite that much, but certainly $5 to $6 in a day easily. So it wouldn't surprise me if they ran all the way back up $10, all the way up to these highs, didn't close this gap in, and then sunk price again. You can kind of see they're setting up a couple equal lows below here, so I think they're going to shoot lower than this. How high do we go on crude? I don't know. Very, very volatile market, folks, so be careful with crude. If you're going to trade this commodity, make sure you're deleveraging your positions. Maybe trade mini contracts on crude if you can find them, and do that. But I would just be careful on this, because it can range very, very quickly. Really like this area up here though, but I'd hesitate to say do a long on crude oil when it's just been so bearish. I typically don't go long on markets that are heavily bearish like that. But I think we're probably going to see lower prices, unfortunately, and with that, more of the same. The OPEC and Russia and the US, I mean, they're not even close to any talks yet. That could definitely change on a dime, for sure, and I hope it does very quickly. We're going to find out here, though, in the next probably week or two what they're going to plan on doing with it here. But just keep in mind, the more they suppress oil prices, the more it hurts these producers, and the more they're going to be screaming to get prices back up again. So eventually they will come to a deal. Eventually, you mark my words, they will do it. Finally, gold. I've been wanting to be so bullish on gold, but it just hasn't been giving me any reason to. Look at this decline. I think we're probably going to see more lows. We just hesitated to get below here. I think next week we're going to have price all the way down to about the 1300s on gold. That's what I'm watching for. Very, very bearish in here. What would change that is if we started trading above these areas right in here, then I'd be bullish. Not seeing it yet. I think they're still punishing all the gold the gold buyers right now who are flying out of all the currencies and all the stocks and all the safe havens and dumping it into gold. Out of all of the volatile markets and going into the safe haven, which usually is gold and precious metals and silver. They're punishing those people right now. We're going to see further downside on gold. I think it's going to go down to 1300. But from there, I think we could make a bit of a rally. I hope we are. I'd like to get long gold and buy it and hold all the way up to 1800, because I think that's where it's probably going to go, especially in this time. And I don't have a chart, unfortunately, guys, to show you previous. But in times like these, people usually look to safety investments like this, and right now there's no safety in this one either. But I think we're going to rebalance just underneath these lows here, so I'm going to be watching for that. Further downside on gold. And finally, S&P. Wow, man, I for anybody who's got like investments that are weighted onto these indices, man, you guys are getting hurt. I apologize. I don't mean to sound crass or not flippant about it, but man, this is ugly. Look at this. When has this happened before? We saw a little minor correction right in here 2 years ago. Nothing compared to this, and this thing could keep screaming south if it really wanted to. There's the new low right there, just rebounded off of these highs. We could see a bit of a retracement, but I wouldn't count on much. I think we're probably just going to continue to see selling. Everybody's panicking. And this thing is coming unglued at the hinges, and I think we're going to see further downside. More than likely, we're going to see them run below these lows here. That's probably a good target for this thing. So anticipate more downside on S&P. I wouldn't be buying stocks and buying anything yet, folks. I don't think the carnage is over yet, so just hold on to your seat. I think there's a little bit more of this to come. That being said, lots of opportunities out there, so don't be discouraged. And if you guys have any questions, shoot me a note at F45 Trading to my Twitter. Send me an email, f45trading@gmail.com. Jump onto my website. You can check out all our options there at f45trading.com and all the other resources to get a hold of me. I'm here if you need me. Thanks for watching, folks. Good luck this week, and go easy. Don't try to make $1 million in a day. There's always lots of time for that. So take it easy. Good luck. Talk to you next week.